Hi, it's Terrilynn, Traveling Artista. It's been a while since I've done a video, but I got up this morning and it was a beautiful day. So I went out and I chose my colors and I decided to get on the back deck and do a painting. Here's a view of what I was looking at to the right, and I had prepared my paper ahead of time. I am using a Jaipur Japanese paper that has been coated with pumice gel, and beside that I have a couple of pieces of mi-teinte paper by Canson, also with a coating of pumice gel on that. So I had done a quick layover of some soft colors, soft grays and pan pastels. I was looking at it and the light was just streaming through the trees and it conveyed to me joy and warmth. So I had to consider, what's my intent here? What's my intent? Mostly it was the light coming through. So I decided not to wear glasses while I was sketching. That tends to allow me to be more intuitive in my painting. I showed you that I had chosen the colors. What I did is I went outside, looked at the scene, and went back in and chose the colors from just from memory out of my big pastel box and put them in that small tray that you saw earlier. Also, I had my drawing tools there. So I laid in the basic design composition and some of the basic colors. Then here I'm dribbling the tree trunk areas with 50% of isopropyl alcohol, so it would give a more natural effect to those tree trunks. I only use the 50%, but I have to keep the other for sanitation. So it took a while to dry, and you see off to the left there, I did a quick other little sketch while I was waiting for the larger one to dry. You know, this present situation, as I was saying, the pandemic isolation has kept many of us so busy with all the adjustments we have to do. Adjusting to teaching virtual online classes, which I offer, so check with me if you're interested. I'm also working to help my gallery adjust to what's coming up when we reopen, organizing my paintings, and taking an interesting website makeover webinar. Whew. Well, anyway, I think I'm busier now than when I'm working. Not sure what I'm going to do when I go back to the winery part-time. Anyway, here I'm working the positive and negative space aspect. Mostly I started with the positive space, the trunks, the ivy that climbs up those trunks, the leaves, the distant trees. Then I start bringing in the highlights of the leaves and finish with the glow to the sky. That was my main intent, that soft grayish blue glow to the sky that affected the background trees and all. As I'm working along, I realized the dark foreground was kind of a problem for me. Not sure why. Maybe it's because I really don't care about that area, but it's important to consider and care about all areas of your painting. I step back, I try to look at what I'm doing, consider where I'm going next. Here I realized I hadn't brought in enough of the ivy that climbs on those trees and adds such an interesting texture to it. I have in the past prepared a heavy surface with a coarse pumice gel, and I might try that. That might work really, really well with these ivies that grow up the trees, giving it a texture. With that one though, I have to lay in the background colors with a lot of alcohol and wash it down in between that texture. Here I'm adding in some small branches with just a charcoal pencil. Notice how I held it to make it loose and jaggedy, trying to make it more natural. If we hold it like a pencil, we often don't get that natural flow that we're really looking for. Sometimes as I'm painting, and I continue on here, I will step back, take a deep breath, and half close my eyes to try to connect to that creative spirit that can flow through us and partner with us in the creation. Sometimes I even consider, why don't I allow Monet or some other great artist, the residual of that spirit that is flowing around us, to allow it to affect my painting. Whether it's actually that particular spirit or not, doesn't really matter. It's that allowing to just let myself relax and be more intuitive with a painting. That's one of my intents. Always focus on the intent. When you step back, think about, what was my original intent here? Oftentimes, as you've seen, I will put a little note on the board as I'm painting to remind me of my initial intent. As I'm going along here, you can kind of check it and think to yourself which one you might prefer. I think the smaller one, because I painted that while the larger one was drying, gave me a sense of where I wanted to go with the larger painting. As we get to the end, you can decide for yourself which you prefer. And it's all a matter of personal taste, right? Art is about personal taste. Not really taste, but what speaks to us, what brings us to a place, what will draw us back to a memory or an experience that we've had in the past. That's the important thing. When I finish with the paintings, I will take them inside. I will let them sit on the easel for a while, and then I let my eyes adjust to the light. I step way back, 8 to 10 feet, look at it, critique, make plans that when I go back in, I'm going to touch it as little as possible, just enough to make it pull together. Leaving the painting to rest for a while helps us to approach it again with a fresh objective view. Sit down, drink some water, have a snack, whatever it takes. I knew going into this painting that there would probably be challenges because of the paper I had chosen, but I was determined to play it all the way through, to have fun, and try to be expressive. When you're done, do remember to photo your finished pieces. That gives you another objective view. Double check your value by making the photo black and white. So many of our phones today, and this was shot on an iPhone camera, have the ability to edit paintings or photographs very easily, and you can switch it to black and white just to check your tonal values of a painting. When I photograph a piece, I always put a bright white strip of paper beside it. It helps these self-adjusting cameras to color balance better. So here's the finished small one with its black and white tonal value beside it, and then the next. So you can kind of decide for yourself which you prefer. Even if it's not a terribly successful painting, it's the process. It's learning and experiencing. So get out there and paint. Do some analysis of what your process is. Write it down. Go enjoy. And stay dusty, my friends.